Today I'm going to show you how to make an absolutely family favorite eggplant parmesan. If you've never made it, it's absolutely something you have to have in your repertoire and delicious every time. Let's go. So this is some of what goes into it. Eggplant, mozzarella, Parmesan cheese, flour, eggs, and olive oil. So I'm going to grate the Parmesan, and you might be saying to yourself, why grate the Parmesan when you can get grated Parmesan? And that's because when food is closest to the source, it's always going to taste the freshest and the best. Watch out for the noise. You're going to cut on a diagonal, and you want pieces to be about 1/2 inch, and you want them to kind of all be the same size if possible. And let me show you a really unnecessary thing that I like to do. I like to measure it. I know that sounds nutty, but I like them to be the same size because they're going to cook more evenly. Oh boy, are these going to be fabulous. So what I'm going to do now is in this bowl here, I'm going to combine the flour. Be sure you get all of it. Don't worry, I'll get anything that I missed. And the cheese. And let's stir that up. Love doing this. So here's the most important part of the story. Egg is on the right hand and the flour is on the left. You don't want to take this eggy, wet hand and go ahead and pick up the flour and everything with it because it'll get all gloopy. So take your time. So I'm going to keep going. One tip I want to give you is I haven't put all of the mixture over here because sometimes something happens and it gets really gloopy and it all gets ruined. So I've learned better not to do that. So I'm going to put it in, and you don't want to get shy about the olive oil. This dish is a treat, so it's obviously not something you're eating every day, but everybody should have how to make a Parmesan in your repertoire. Okay, I'm flipping these over, and they look lovely. Always tricky. There's a minute where it's like enough, and then there's a minute that it's too much, but in the end, we're going to cover this with a bit of cheese. I can't wait to show you that part. I wish I could tell you how long these take. It's about 3 minutes, but you've got to watch it. You got to watch your oil. It's not the kind of thing you go off and do another project. You take your time and you go through, and I'm going to drain them on a paper towel and then do another batch. Do a second batch in here, and nothing's burned, and so I'm just going to loosen all of these bits, and then I'm going to stick these in and do another batch. I don't know what it is about making this, but it's really a joyful thing for me. So I've allowed them to cool just for a minute. The nice thing is you can stop the recipe right here, leave them out for the afternoon, and then tonight when your guests arrive, simply put the cheese in and let it melt. So it's absolutely fine just to use a store-bought tomato sauce, but today I'm going to show you how to actually do your own with canned tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, basil, and onions. So the first thing we're going to do is take the tomatoes, and I've got these really nice San Marzano tomatoes, and we're going to drain them. Now you just break them into small pieces, and you might say, why not buy crushed tomatoes? The truth is, the very best tomatoes they put in the whole tomatoes, and they put the lesser ones already in the crushed. So I like to do the crushing myself. I took to using my hands because it's a lot easier for me. And sometimes what I find for myself is the very best kitchen tool is attached to my body, and it's so much harder for me to lose these. So I've got olive oil here, more than you think you would need, but remember it's going to be part of the sauce. And let's get the onions sauteing up on medium and get them translucent, and then I'll add the garlic for a minute. And next goes the tomatoes, and that's when the magic happens. Now I'm going to add the reserved juice, stir this very nicely together, and then just let it simmer for about 20 minutes. So now we want it to simmer. I turned it up so we can get it going, and then you got to kind of turn it down. You just want to see this bubbling, and you got to sort of watch it. If nothing's bubbling, it's a problem. If it's boiling, then it's a problem too. So you see that little guy right there? That's what we're going for. So it's been simmering for 20 minutes. Looks great, smells fantastic. I'm adding some little ribbons of basil, and then it's salt and pepper to taste. It's completely to your liking. So of course, this can be put on something non-compliant that would be spectacular, but remember how great on top of cauliflower rice. For Whole30, what about a wonderful chicken stew? So many ways to use this. It tastes absolutely delicious. Make it. So when I assemble, I like to put a little tomato on the bottom. If you're going to do this for a dinner party, you want it to be really pretty in the end. And what I do is assemble, and each person's going to get one slice, or actually they're gonna get 2 slices, but just in single layer. I'm gonna put a slice of mozzarella on top of each one. And I'm gonna actually broil it because it's really cooked. It just needs to be broiled. And in the end, I'm gonna top it with some more of the tomato sauce. Finished product, and how delicious does this look? I plated it up in a very pretty way for a dinner party, but you can do a tray of these for your family on a baking sheet for weeknight dinner, and it's a win-win.